everybody. If you couldn't tell, I'm sick. So yeah, try my best. So first I'll be answering the first question. So the moment that I reacted to this story was when he made the comment about like her underwear and was very specific, even mentioning that the how she has the pair of like the red lingerie. And what made this particular moment resonate with me was that like there was a bit of a build up, and certain comments he made could be taken innocently, like when he mentions that like how she has the body of a dancer. Well, one, he was a dancer, and then two, if she's wearing tighter clothes, you'll be able to see her body more. So it's like, okay, that's understandable. But that, my best friend does not know what underwear I own. So yeah, so that for sure tipped me off. Now I'll be answering the question about first person. And this narrator is completely unreliable, and I think he's somewhere in the middle between lying and truthful. I wouldn't consider him a liar because I feel like lying is intentional. You know that what you're saying is wrong. And he truthfully, wholeheartedly, in my opinion, believes that he's in love with her. But it's more than just love, and it's an obsession. And my reason for this, and I believe that he's sort of in doubt about like this obsession of his, because I do believe that he knows that what he's doing is wrong in a sense, because at the end of the story he says, oh, like I don't like, you may react happy or even with terror, and I feel like most people, if you're completely like in support of your actions, you'll be like, oh yeah, she'll be so happy. So the fact that he acknowledges she might be scared, I think does show that he knows, at least subconsciously, that what he's doing is wrong. He's just in denial of it. But yeah. Next, I'll be answering about atmosphere in the story and whether it falls into a buildup of terror or aftermath of horror. And I can see the nuance in how this can be either one, but I see it to be more of a buildup of terror, especially with the ending. I think two reasons play into this. One, that the story, again, like I mentioned before, has like gradual shift into more like greater intensity, but also as well, the ending, most likely because of it's an open ending, feels like a prequel to, or like the story's incomplete. Because I feel like the true horror and is her finding out that he's there. What does he do to her? How does she react? Things like that. It feels like a genuine horror movie, and I believe that like this is a build up to something greater than all of this. And yeah, so that's the way that I see it. I think another thing that contributes to this too, as I love true crime, and in a lot of cases you'll find like murder victims that were stalked for months or years up until their murder, and I find, obviously it's all horrifying, but the murder is like the true terror and horror, and that stalking period is that build up, and that's how I see this story. And then next lastly I'll be answering the last question, which is the use of foreshadowing. The details of this narrative that I find to be major points of foreshadowing is what I mentioned previously about the dancer's body, because as I said previously, that can be interpreted innocently, but then once you know, okay, he's been stalking her, he's been in her room, just sitting there, just a statue watching her, you realize, okay, he's probably watched her changed, or even like possibly watch her engage in sexual actions with other people, completely invaded her privacy, and so it's like, with a lot of foreshadowing, you will see certain things and your perspectives completely shift on those things. So yeah, And I think a lot of other things that he says about her can be used in that sense too. Like how he talks about watching her walk. Oh, okay, well, if you're a statue that's out there in public and there's other people watching you, as he also mentions throughout the story, it's like, oh, okay, well, she's a local, not a local, sorry, but if she's a like a reoccurring person that will walk around that plaza or whatever where you decide to be the statue, that makes sense because you're seeing her walk very often. But now if you're following her in her house and you're watching her, that's terrifying. But yeah, that's everything. Thank you.